Okay, Bill, if you could stay on the line, I'd appreciate it before this explosion. Oh, sorry, it's not really an explosion, but the scuttling happens. We've just got Michelle Meares from the No Ship Action Group, which has been fighting this scuttling on the phone now as well. Michelle, are you responsible for organising this pot of dolphins to frustrate the scuttling process?
Oh, look, we can't take credit for that, no.
But you must be pretty happy that they've turned up.
Oh, look, I think it's sending a clear message to our government and governments around the world. Dumping these toxic warships in the ocean is not appreciated by dolphins and marine life.
So, yeah, you still have serious concerns about the possible impact from the lead paint on this ship?
Absolutely. I mean, there's 23,000 square metres of lead paint. The court has 750 kilograms to 2.3 tonnes of pure lead is about to be dumped at the bottom of the ocean next to our beach. And I just heard your previous speaker talking about the fish, and there is considerable debate amongst the scientific community whether these artificial reefs just aggregate fish away from natural reefs. There is a fishing exclusion zone planned around the wreck, but obviously fish swim, and there's fishing platforms very close to the scuttling, as you would see today. People will be eating these fish. The state government's refused to test the paint for toxic polychlorinated biphenyl, so it's very concerning that they're continuing with this scuttling, given everything we've revealed about what's on this warship.
Okay, Michelle, well, we might bring Bill Gladstone back in now, the marine scientist we were just talking to. Bill, I don't know if you heard Michelle then, but do you, as a marine scientist who's going to monitor this, do you have concerns about the effects of this lead paint?
Well, the question about the lead paint was examined thoroughly in the Administrative Appeals Tribunal. You may remember there was a hearing last year to look at the claims raised by the No Ship Action Group, and the tribunal looked thoroughly at all the claims that were raised, particularly the one about lead, and they looked at it in detail and concluded the type of lead that's on the ship. Lead paint can have other types, or various types of lead compounds within it, and the type of lead compound that's in this lead paint that's on the ship isn't bioavailable, which means that it's not in a form that's either readily absorbed into the body or that bioaccumulates within living organisms anyway. So even though the lead may be there, and it is there, it is present in a form that generally is not bioavailable to living organisms. And that's why the Administrative Appeals Tribunal came down with the conclusion that it didn't pose any serious or harm to either the environment or to humans.
Yeah, so Michelle Meares, after hearing that from a marine scientist, why do you still have concerns about this?
Well, what the judge actually said in the judgment is that the fate of lead in the marine environment is not well understood, hence they have extended the monitoring around the vessel for 50 years from the original 5 years. And what the experts do agree on is that this form of lead tetroxide, can transform into toxic lead in an acidic environment. So that includes in the stomach of a fish, of a child, once a biofilm forms on the lead paint on the ship while the paint's still on the ship. So, our community obviously are extremely concerned that they're still proceeding with this dumping, because it's quite apparent that scientists just do not understand the full impact of this.
Yeah, so Bill Gladstone, do you accept that argument that scientists don't understand the full impact of this?
Well, we never understand the full impact of something until we've researched and monitored it thoroughly. But if we look at what we know already about the sinking of various ships in the marine environment, there's been minimal detectable impact from the sinking of other Australian Navy ships around the marine environment. And the pathway that's suggested about lead being modified in acidic environments in organisms was raised in the hearing, and that was described as fanciful by the judge. So the conclusions about its possible impact were disregarded, and even the public health officer on the Central Coast said it poses minimal potential harm to humans. So I think the issue was looked at thoroughly by all the relevant experts, and the panel looked at all the evidence that was available to them and came down to that conclusion. And I think at the time that was the evidence that was available, so we have to accept that judgment. It was given the full scrutiny of the court and a large number of experts. So I think the time has come to accept what that recommendation was.
Okay, the time has come for the scuttling to take place too. Unfortunately, we'll leave it there. Bill Gladstone and Michelle Meares, thanks so much for talking to us. We might go back to our reporter at the Skillion overlooking